Emily Strahan,
And I'm Jackie Pate.
and you're watching Between a Rock and a Hard Place. This is our fifth and final episode of the season, and tonight we're going to talk to you about some of our successes and also some of our failures from this season.
Great, Emily. So I think that one of the things that we did really successfully this semester was getting the conversation started well beyond this studio. I mean, a lot of people in my classes started watching it. We were posting them on YouTube and Facebook. So not only did we get viewership, but we also got a lot of people to talk about what we were talking about. Did you feel the same?
Absolutely. I think there was something about this election cycle that everyone wanted to feel engaged and everyone wanted to be a part of it. And I think by having open and honest dialogue on camera and a relaxed on-campus setting, students that came on our show and their friends, and then it sort of trickled out and everyone started talking.
Right. We're also at the age where we're old enough to really be engaged in these conversations. And I think this year in particular, so many people wanted to be reading the newspaper and watching the news and seeing what was going on. So people really were just involved and invested in this election. And as it turned out, we got a lot of those people to come onto our show because either we heard them talk in class or we heard them talk in passing, or people told us, hey, you know what, you should really reach out to so-and-so. They would be really good on the show. They have a very strong opinion.
Right.
Didn't you feel like a lot of people had strong opinions?
I think people had a strong opinion. But the strong opinions of this election actually sort of came and bit us back in the foot. Is that an expression? Bought it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Because what I'm saying is, we brought up some interesting and some controversial topics. Controversial topics, we didn't invent these topics. The candidates.
They were already talked about.
They were already talked about. But we had people on the quad come up and say, we are being too conservative, or we are being unfair,
Right.
or you shouldn't have had him on or her on because they don't know what they're talking about. People got really frustrated and angry at us, which was upsetting, but I think it was good. I think it was positive to get, and like we never said in the beginning, this was going to be a conservative talk show for young Republicans, because it's not, and it's it was never also supposed to be journalistic in that it was going to give both sides evenly. It was just going to be what's going on out there.
Right. And also, that being said, we also did get a lot of people coming up to us saying, we really want to be on the show, or I really want to be on the show. Can I be on Between a Rock and a Hard Place? And whether that was in good fun or they actually think that they had good things to say. We also got positive feedback, which I think was important because that shows that we were getting negative feedback and good feedback, and that's normally a good sign that you're doing the right thing by starting the conversation and that it wasn't completely one-sided, which it wasn't. We tried to be in the middle, but we weren't hesitant to bring on someone very conservative or very liberal because we weren't promising anything.
Right. And I actually think that that speaks to one of the reasons that we had some successes, and that was our conversations were very relevant and timely. If something happened, we made sure that we filmed right after, and that was when the water was hot and people were really burning their toes and really wanting to get their voices heard.
Right. And even in the middle of everything going on with school, yada, 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 like, for instance, the Hillary rally.
Mm-hmm.
We made sure we were there. We were filming people, even though it was on our iPhones and the quality wasn't that good. Filming people outside the rally, asking students who we had never seen before, never talked to, hey, why are you here? What do you think about this? And then later filmed our On the Street episode just to see how people feel. Were people voting? Were people not voting? That was really what we wanted to get across.
So with all our successes, our deemed successes, obviously, it's not perfect. This is very rookie of us to be doing. So a couple failures I want to point out is we definitely needed a cameraman. Currently, we're talking to the camera, and there is no one standing behind it, except for you imaginary people. Next time, also, we talked about bringing on experts from the field. We stuck to students this time around because student voices were very interested in this election, and there were a lot of opinions, and also they're sort of our peer group. So, and they're the group that would be watching the show because it's being posted on Facebook and
not only that, but the name of our show is Between a Rock and a Hard Place, and students and millennials more than any other age group was stuck. So we felt that instead of, although it would have been nice to bring on experts, it almost was more relevant to bring on just students.
Right. So that sort of brings us to the reason we named the show,
Right.
Between a Rock and a Hard Place. And it's actually from the Iliad. It's the concept of Between a Rock and a Hard Place, but we've sort of transferred that old saying into our show because we are stuck.
Right.
And we're not stuck only in this election. I think millennials are really undecided about their lives, about the future, about the direction they think or we should be going in. And this show was a testament to that. People were still undecided. We were still undecided.
Right.
We've done so much reading, so much talking, so much engaging on both sides, and we're still kind of stuck. And I think we're always going to be, it might be our generation, it might just be the time in our country right now. But unless you're really passionate about a certain side, you're going to kind of fall in this mucky middle ground.
Right, and even the people who were super uber passionate about what they felt, then something comes out on the news and the next day people are wondering, oh, should I really be doing this? Should I really vote for this person, or should I instead vote for someone else? I mean, people found themselves, I think more than ever this election cycle, to be stuck between the rock and the hard place because so many things were happening with the news and stories and all of everything crazy that was happening that people really didn't have a firm belief in what they truly felt, and they could sympathize with the other side even if they didn't agree with it.
Right. Well, I think that just wraps it up for this season. I am the Rock.
I'm the hard place.
And we're very much stuck, and we'll be stuck together because we're very good friends. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and we will be back in January with more issues, more politics, and more reasons to be stuck.
Thank you.